AB 942 makes balanced revisions to existing solar subsidy programs that will create equity for all Californians. Nearly 30 years ago, California launched rooftop solar subsidies when the industry was new as a method to spur investment. Today, however, subsidies are no longer fair or equitable and have led to a cost shift onto non-solar customers to ensure the grid is maintained. This cost shift amounted to an estimated $8.5 billion last year alone and is expected to increase in future years. These are not just my numbers. This cost shift has been identified by the CPUC, the Public Advocate's Office, and ratepayer advocates such as Turn and economists. In total, the cost shift onto non-solar customers is roughly 25% of a non-solar customer's energy bill. This has made electricity unaffordable for our constituents. For years, we have discussed ways to alleviate this burden, and this bill is an attempt to do so. Here with me today in support is Rachel Koss with the Coalition of California Utility Employees and Robert Berrigan, Executive Director of ICON CDC.
Thank you, Madam Chair and committee members. Rachel Koss on behalf of the Coalition of California Utility Employees. I want to talk about why electricity rates are so high. Let's take PG&E's residential rates as an example. From 2018 to 2024, they went up 11 cents per kilowatt hour above inflation. 6 of the 11 cents were for wildfire mitigation. 5 cents was from the NEM subsidy. Nearly half was from NEM. Statewide, NEM customers avoid paying 82 to 91% of their share of the costs. As a result, non-solar customers in 2024 paid an extra $8.5 billion. This inequity hits low-income customers, renters, and customers in hot inland climates the hardest. NEM truly is reverse Robin Hood. If you want to bring down electricity bills, NEM reform is the most straightforward, the most equitable, the most impactful thing you can do. There are several ways to do it. The bill has 3 ways. First, right now, NEM customers are subsidized for 20 years. If that went to 10 years, non-solar customers would save nearly $8 billion in the first 5 years, $5 billion in 2034 alone, and more than $54 billion through 2043. The bill's 3 measures would save $58 billion through 2043. And solar customers will be just fine. They'll recoup the cost of their investment and then some before switching to the new subsidy, which, by the way, provides 76 to 82% of the subsidy under NEM. NEM customers currently see paybacks of 3 to 4 years. Under the new subsidy, customers are seeing paybacks in as little as 4 to 5 years. I want to quickly address the industry's claim that AB 942 would break NEM contracts. This is totally false. There are no contracts for the NEM rate structure. All rate structures, including NEM, are set by the PUC, regulated by the PUC, and can be changed by the PUC. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Roberto Berrigan, Executive Director of ICON CDC, an LA-based community development corporation that serves 2,000 small businesses and entrepreneurs annually focused on access to capital and job creation. I'm the former ED of the California Community Economic Development Association, CECIDA, that for 5 years I served 200 CDCs and community development corporations across the state, focused on economic development and quality of life issues for low and moderate income communities. I'm here to testify in support of AB 942, sponsored by Assemblymember Luisa Calderon, that addresses the inequality and inequity of today's net energy metering. While rooftop solar does play an important role in meeting the state's energy goals, it should not do so at the expense of non-solar customers, especially the vast majority of low and moderate income energy users. At CECIDA, we supported the current MBT program as a compromise and an improvement on NEM 1.0 and 2.0. Unfortunately, the cost shift to non-solar customers was reduced by as little as 24%. At ICON CDC, we continue to see small business, home-based entrepreneurs, and local residents suffering continued increases in their electrical bills, in part exacerbated by the cost shift of grid generation and maintenance created by this subsidy. The solution recommended here are reasonable. A reduction from 20 years to 10 years is supported by the Public Advocate's Office determination that solar customers are paid back their initial investment in as little as 4 years, while I would argue that the solar customers are already incentivized by tax credits and energy cost stabilization. How is it reasonable to argue for a 16-year additional incentive that is paid for by non-solar customers? Termination of the subsidy at sale is a perfectly reasonable step to reduce the cost shift to those who cannot afford solar installations. This benefits as much with $1 billion in cost savings to non-solar customers. At the end of the day, someone has to pay for the state mandated subsidies that were established to respond to climate change. But the days of incentivizing solar installations by those who can afford it or have good credit to finance it should be over.
Can you wrap up,
Small
sir?
businesses, low and moderate income residents should not be burdened by the cost of a past its time incentive. The cost of it is unreasonable and should be lessened less in reasonable ways to benefit all.
Thank you.
Finally,
All right. Thank you, sir.
thank you.
Okay. Moving on to,
Madam Chair, I'm sorry, apologies. I forgot to say I will be accepting the committee amendments.